Peace unto you all. Today, I'm going to be reading parts 14 to 15 of the Essene main gospel. So, this is part 14, Yasha and Mary of Magdala. And it came to pass that one certain Pharisee named Simon asked of Yasha that he would dine with him. And Yasha did sit down and eat with Simon. And behold, a woman of Magdala, Mary, reputed a sinner, as in she was known amongst the community as a sinner, was also in the city and sought after Yasha to present him with a gift, an alabaster box of ointment. Finding Yasha in the house of the Pharisee, she stood at Yasha's feet behind him, weeping, and washed his feet with her tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head. And then she kissed his feet and anointed them with ointment. The Pharisee Simon was surprised at what he saw, for he felt in his heart, if Yasha were a prophet, he would not have such a sinner touch him. But Yasha, perceiving Simon's bewilderment, said unto him, There was a creditor who had 2 debtors. The one owed 500 pence and the other 50. And when they had nothing to pay, the creditor freely forgave both. Tell me, Simon, which of the debtors will love him most? And Simon answered, I suppose that he to whom he forgave the most. And Yasha said unto him, Thou hast rightly judged. And he said unto Simon, Now seest that this woman in question, did I not enter into thy house? But thou gavest me no water for my feet, did thou? But she, who have no water, washed my feet with many tears, and so wiped them with the hairs of her head. Wow, that's deep, man. That's so deep. Thou also gavest me no kiss, but this woman, since the very time I came in, have not ceased to kiss my feet, even as thou hast beheld. Wow. Also my head with oil thou didst not anoint, but this woman have anointed. But this woman have anointed even my feet with ointment. Wherefore, Simon, I say unto you, by a highest mercy of sins, which are indeed many, are forgiven. For although ye have not known this woman to be humane, but know her only by her sins, I tell ye truly, she has loved and cared much, not only for the needy, but also every beast and the birds of the air, yea, even the fishes of the sea. For I say unto you, to whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. Wow. That's quite deep, because it shows a lot about human nature as well. If you do a lot for someone, they'll feel the need to do something a lot for you, even if it's in the same degree. For example, let's say, I don't know, I gave someone £100, literally like the same way you said it. I gave someone £100 and I give someone £1,000. It's still money at the end of the day that they both need. But the person who I give £1,000, their eyes will, you know what? It's quite deep, man. It just shows human nature. And Simon remained silent, but listened to every word. And then Yasha said unto the woman, Truly thy sins are forgiven thee. All peace be unto thee. And first of all, in case you are wondering why her sins were forgiven, he's not saying it in a sense of, oh, she's kissed my feet, therefore, you need to kiss my feet to be forgiven. He's showing it because, in case you don't know, Mary Magdala was already in partnership with Yasha. This is mentioned beforehand in the previous chapters. But because Mary was already in partnership with Yasha, when she came back to this place where she was reputed as a sinner, and she's kissing his feet because she's been keeping the law with him, and now she's forgiven, and she can live on the righteous life, and her past sins are no more. That's why she's kissing his feet, because she knows she was a hoe back in the days, let's just say that. Anyways, and Simon remained silent, but listened to every word. And then Yasha said unto the woman, Truly thy sins are forgiven thee. All peace be unto thee. And they who sat at the table began to say within themselves for a certainty, Who is this one that even forgives sins? For Yasha had not said unto the woman, I forgive thee, but thy sins are forgiven thee. As in, he has the authority to say thy sins are forgiven, but I'm not the one who's going to forgive them. For Yasha discerned in her heart true faith and penitence. Yea, for Yasha needed not the outside testimony of any man, for he himself knew what was in every man and woman before him, knowing the good from the evil, the right from the wrong. And Yasha continued to awaken the people to mercy and love because of his great wisdom and the knowledge of the inner meanings of the consecrated law. The truth of spirit was upon him, and everywhere he spake, the people received his words in gladness and peace. And Mary Magdalene also became a disciple of Yasha, and sin never came unto her again, for she was purified and yearned only to do good and forget the evil. And Mary at times did travel with Yahshua and the disciples, and did herself speak unto many the keeping of the consecrated law. And many women listened unto her words, and became disciples of the consecrated way, yea, even bearing testimony to their families and neighbours of salvation and light of Yahshua. And some of the Pharisees did listen to Yahshua's words also, and did leave off from their evil ways and followed him. And there was great excitement among the priests who wished not... Wow. And there was great excitement amongst the priests who wished not to hear of Yahshua nor his truths. Wow, great excitement amongst the priests. These are obviously the people that are seeking out to end this man's career, essentially. Chapter 15, Yahshua exposes the evil of darkness. And one day certain ones of the Pharisees questioned Yahshua and said unto him, How sayest thou that a higher shall condemn the world? And Yahshua answered them, saying, The Eternal One so loveth the righteous seed in the world, and the only begotten Son cometh into the world, that whosoever believeth in him may not perish, but inherit everlasting life. A higher therefore sendeth not the Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him may be saved from bondage to sin. For I tell you truly, they who believe on him sent are not condemned, but they that believe not condemn themselves, because they have not believed in the name of the only begotten of a higher. Thereby this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, but men love darkness rather than light, because light exposes it. See, it goes deeper than what it goes to in the Bible, because light exposes the darkness whereby all evil deeds are made manifest for every eye to see. For all they who do evil hate the light, for the light is good. Neither come they to the light, lest their evil deeds be exposed and condemned by the consecrated law. But they who work righteousness come to the light, for they are drawn to it out of love for all that is pure and consecrated, that their deeds may be made manifest and be approved by a higher. Thus will they shine forth with the light and conquer the evil with the good. And the Pharisees were silent at his words of wisdom, and dared not question Yahshua further at that time, for indeed their own evil deeds had condemned them as workers of lawlessness, and they feared greater exposure, as many were the people who heard Yahshua's words. So that's chapter 14 to 15. I want to kind of... Oh, actually, you know what? I might as well read chapter 16 as well. I don't want my videos to be too short. Yahshua teaches natural health reform, the natural cures of nature. And Yahshua continued to travel with many disciples to various regions of Yasharallah, where he did amass believers of the consecrated law. For many listened unto him and were astonished, and did believe truly in their hearts that he was the Son of a higher, the promised deliverer of the enslaved earthly race of man. And Yahshua did heal every ailment and disease among the sick, even teaching the people the art of true health reform according to the natural laws of nature. Yea, for as in stuff like the same way that you have holistic healers who prescribe certain herbs to do certain things, you need to eat this to cure that. These people have had to study from books and whatnot and other people to know that Yahshua has all the knowledge of a higher within his brain. So he is the walking manual. He is the walking word within the book that was made by the Creator. Man. Yahshua did heal every ailment and disease among the sick, even teaching the people the art of true health reform according to the natural laws of nature. That doesn't mean they worship nature, but because they are physical beings, they are subject to the laws of nature, so they have to abide by the laws of nature. I'll give you an example. Intermittent fasting, that is optimal for human beings. Another example, don't overeat. Those are two basic examples. But am I a Satanist? No, I'm just explaining the natural laws of nature that you are bound to as a physical being. Although you are spirit by thought, you are still in a physical body. You are still bound to the laws of nature in that sense. Yea, for he taught the people healing properties of plants, even every herb and grass of the field, and the power hidden in stones, because in case you don't know, first Paul was referring to crystals as stones, and yes, crystals can benefit in some way. Think of it like this. Did Satan create crystals? No. crystals are naturally found on Earth. If they're naturally found, that means that a higher created them. So of course, there will be some things in there that may benefit mankind. And he knows this as he has the knowledge of a higher all stacked up in his brain. And the cleansing miracle of pure water, and many were amazed and did believe and were healed. And because of his great wisdom and understanding, Yahshua amazed entire households and helped many onto the consecrated way of life. And Yahshua did teach the clean diet of man and beast, and taught even the consecrated law on health, that all may learn true salvation. And he named every fruit that Ahia had given unto man as food, and every vegetable that Ahia had given unto the beasts and birds of the earth. Yea, even of the fishes did Yahshua speak of, and told every household with ears sacred truths of the consecrated way. And many were the listeners who obeyed his words from that time on. And he's referring to the stuff that was written in Genesis: every herb bearing seed, and every fruit in which the tree yielding seed shall be meat unto man, and then obviously the green vegetables for the animals. I don't know, to be honest with you, I think there are certain animals that were from the beginning destined to eat other animals. I'm not sure. However, obviously, for example, a lion has large canines and they don't actually chew their food. They have powerful tongues and they lap it down. They have very low stomach acidity and they have short colons, so the food doesn't ferment in their stomach. However, human beings have long colons, so meat or flesh per se does ferment in the stomach, which it's not meant to. Sorry, in the colon. It ferments in the colon. It's not meant to ferment in the colon. Anyways. And on hearing these things, a certain Sadducee who believed not in the consecrated things of Ahia asked Yahshua, "Tell me, please, why sayest thou, do not eat the flesh of animals? Were not the beasts given unto man as food, even as the fruits and herbs ye speak of?" And Yahshua answered him and said, "Behold, this melon, the fruit of the earth." And Yahshua broke open a watermelon and said unto the Sadducee, "See thou with thine own eyes the good fruit of the soil, the meat of man, and see thou the seeds within. Count ye them, for one melon maketh 100-fold and even more. If thou sow this seed, ye do eat from the true supreme power Ahia, for no blood was spilled, nay, no pain, no outcry did ye hear with thy eyes, or see with thine eyes." Sorry, I don't know why I'm tripping right now. "The true food of man is from the mother of the earth. She brings forth perfect gifts unto the humble of the land." Now, let me explain that the mother of the earth. If human beings in spirit were made by the Heavenly Father, but their bodies come from the earth, what would that make the earth in that position, in that context? He's not speaking on some worship earth type thing. He's just saying that human beings biologically and psychologically aren't meant to kill others, and we should eat from the earth, as in the earth, the mother. Because even in the Bible, the earth is described as a female by the prophets themselves, and the Messiah here is the prophet, even as the Dharma is also a prophet. Calling the earth the earthly mothers isn't the same way of calling calling the Father the Heavenly Father. It's not evil, it's just the natural order of things, literally. Anyways, "For she brings forth perfect gifts unto the humble of the land, but ye seek what Satan giveth, the anguish, the death, and the blood of living souls taken by the sword. Know ye not those who live by the sword die by the same death? Go ye thine way, and plant the seeds of the good fruit of life, and leave ye off from hurting the innocent creatures of Ahia. For I tell ye, man needeth male and female beasts for the food he so lusteth after, but every plant and tree Ahia so giveth beareth its own free seed for food." That's true. "Depend ye not on the things unnecessary to your soul. Plant ye the good seeds of the melon, wherein ye savour from season to season, and waiteth for," and that's even another way. That's even how you know, as human beings, being the smartest beings on earth, it's designed for us, because we can store these things. And the thing is, these seeds and whatnot have like stuff like phytic acid, which binds to the minerals, and other anti-nutrients and other enzyme inhibitors, which make sure it doesn't produce enzymes which make it grow out for no reason. That's how you know it's meant for us. "Plant ye the good seeds of the melon, wherein ye saveth from season to season, and waiteth for the soil like sleeping man awaiteth the sunrise. For the seed was made for the morrow's meal, but the animals for the joy and pleasure of a hireand man. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. The only thing that I believe there may be some form of contradiction on is carnivorous animals. But at the same time, there is a cycle to the carnivorous animals, as in you can't have too many cows, because if you have too many cows, they'll eat too many crops. So the lions kind of keep them in order per se. Obviously, I'm saying lions and cows. Realistically, lions and cows aren't. You don't have lions in the UK, for example, but you have cows in the UK. I'm just giving a kind of example. There is a circle of life within the animals, but us as spiritual beings, we weren't meant to even kill or be partakers of death in the first place. We weren't meant to die in the first place. So why should our diet include such therein? So that's chapter 16. What's the time? I think I'll leave it at this for now. I don't want to be making my videos too long. I feel like this was pretty self-explanatory. However, there is some things I do have to explain about diet, which I will be making in further videos. Very, 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 very important videos. If you are on a vegan/vegetarian diet for now, maintain it for now, just so you don't partake in the bloodshed of animals. Make sure you are drinking milk, at least raw milk, raw butter. I wouldn't recommend cheese. Cheese is quite fucked up. But make sure you are drinking raw milk. And I will be coming out with extremely important videos about diet. Extremely important. If you don't choose to hearken onto my words, then be it so unto you. Anyway, shalom. Peace unto you all.